What video game is an absolute 100 in your opinion? Roller Coaster Tycoon. Used to play it back in elementary school. Still play it to this day using OpenRCT. And it was coded in assembly. Still blows my mind. For those who don't know, coding in assembly is like building a house. But not starting by buying lumber to frame it, but by mining metal, so you can refine it into a saw blade, so you can use the saw blade to cut down the tree and mill it into lumber, then doing the same to forge your hammer and nails, etc. all the way to finally build the house. Command and Conquer, Red Alert. Super Mario World, the perfect Mario game, and gave me many hours of joy to this day. I used to draw the star map in math class to flirt with the girl in front of me. It didn't work. Her loss. StarCraft Brood War. To me it still has the coolest intro cinematic of any game ever. The music, the characters, the dread you feel. I enjoyed the plot of StarCraft 2 enough, but StarCraft 1 was truly a golden era for Blizzard in storytelling. I just replayed all of SC1 and the story is so much better. I love both games. I just wish SC2 was a successor, only to Brood War, rather than also drawing so much influence from WCII. There's way too many castable abilities. Super Mario Bros. 3. I'm playing this again on my kid's Switch. 32 years ago, I bought this game for my Northeasts, and was in love with the graphics, gameplay, you can fly, and the music. I learned about Rage Quit before it was a thing. Damn you boss base. Left 4 Dead 2. I never played the first one, but the amount of details in it is crazy. The best thing about 2 is that it comes with the first game included, as well as the updated variant zombies, to make the original more fleshed out. OHH, that's nice. So I'm basically playing both. The Sims 2. Sims 2 is perfection. I've been running the same family for 6 generations, playing every sim in each generation. I do one sim day before moving on to the next sim household, so I can keep everyone aging at the same pace. I'm over 300 sims from birth to death at this point. Edit. So many comments and upvotes. Thanks. It makes me feel warm and fuzzy to think of all the sims I've raised. The Bovary family lives on. I was reading Madame Bovary when I started the family. Close bracket. I play the same way. My first neighborhood made it 8 generations and several years before it got buggy. So I took all my Gen 8 kids and made them towners in a new neighborhood. Up to Gen 5 again. Been playing this neighborhood since 2015 I think. Kerbal and Subnautica. Both fantastic games. The reason KSP is perfect is because it is a true engineer's game. It's man vs physics. You set wacky objectives and watch yourself fail over and over again. And then one day you look up and you've got an airplane on lathe. Cause you wanted to, because you don't have the money to bring a hang glider to Titan. I'm studying aerospace, and it's 75% because of Kerbal F Space Program, my favorite game of all time. Bar none. Baldur's Gate 2. I cannot be caged. I cannot be controlled. Understand this as you die. Ever pathetic. Ever fools. Heya, 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 apostrophe. Terraria. Terraria is truly something special. I'm so glad they won the Labor of Love award. They deserved it. Learning and beating Terraria Master Mode Hardcore was one of the most incredible and addictive few months I've ever spent in a game. I was literally so excited to get back on and progress after work. Red Dead Redemption. I prefer RDR2 to RDR1, but they're both good. Probably RimWorld, just because you can do everything and everything can happen. I love so much this game. I love that the game is completely ruthless. In a recent save I had 2 colonists scraping an existence in the tundra. Had finally stockpiled enough food for the long cold winter when an electrical short burnt down my fridge and destroyed nearly all of my food. We limped along for a bit killing whatever unfortunate creatures wandered into the map, but it came down to only dangerous predators and I had to take the gamble. My best hunter shot and wounded a warg, but it charged and down at him before he could kill it. My other colonist was nearby and tried to finish the job, but the warg charged him down too. The warg then collapsed from blood loss. and the three of them lay near one another, slowly exsanguinating, until everyone was dead, when an electrical short burnt down my fridge and destroyed nearly all of my food. Electrical shorts are why I will never play RimWorld unmodded. Have these guys never heard of circuit breakers? Old school RuneScape is a solid 99/99 for me. 92/99 users love OSRS. A solid 50%. I still remember the day I found out 92 was the halfway point to 99. My highest skills were in the low 80s, and I thought I was so close. At least it taught us exponential power. Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time has to be it for me. Going back after completing it, just to watch the sunrise at Lake Hylia was just so special. Everything about the game was a masterpiece. Honorable mentions go to Half-Life 2, Stardew Valley and Portal 2. All are definitely up there. Hey listen, it's my SMS sound now. BioShock. From the beginning in the ocean, and going down to Rapture. A failed libertarian society full of mutants and little sisters to save. I wish I could experience it for the first time again. My only complaint about BioShock is that I wish there was more of it. The saddest thing about BioShock is that after Infinite the team broke down to work on mobile games with in-game purchases because of how profitable they were. Sad. Really. Probably the best single-player game I've ever played. Even Infinite, which was polarizing, I thought was great. Edit, my bad. It appears I was wrong regarding the reason the team broke down. In my defense, I was in my 20s when this happened, and I remember hearing about this in a couple of gaming podcasts, so this is where my source comes from. Maybe it happened to the people who Kevin didn't bring with him. But anyway, sorry. Quake 3 Arena. So many people today don't know how important this engine was to gaming. So many of the franchises popular today used at least some of Quake 3's engine even on consoles and everything. Every game felt like a reskinned Q3 from like 2000 to 2010. John Carmack is a living legend. Portal. People. University projects don't matter, also people. Portal is a masterpiece. Fun fact I like telling people. Developers at Valve were touring my college. We have game dev programs and have to make a game in a team every year, and noticed a game team making a game called Narbacula Drop with portals and crazy portal based puzzles. They hired those developers and they went on to work on Portal. Holy shit, what's your college? DigiPen. It's one of the few game development focused colleges in the world, and it's pretty renowned for turning out great talent. They must complete a game project every year on a team they build with their peers. I'm not the person you replied to, but I'm in the game development industry, and I'm very familiar with the school. My BF was a grad, and I was their commencement speaker this year, so I spoke to many of the recent students about their experience. Factorio. The only reason that this isn't at the top of the list is that all the Factorio players are actually playing the game. Also, the only game I've ever seen where people will non-ironically refer to themselves as a noob with only a couple hundred hours of play. The skill ceiling is incredibly high. Edit. This was literally the next post on Reddit. https://www.com/r/factorio/comment/y8r13l/I_never_realized_ that_connecting_error_drill_straight. A discussion about mining efficiency for a save game with over 7,000 hours. On that single save. Players with that much time in the game are still learning. Edit 2. I'm concerned about the number of people who found that post useful. I'm hardly one to talk, but seriously go check and see if you still have family and if they know that you are still alive. EU4, CK2, and other Paradox games are like this too. One of the goats of the game even made a review after 18,000 hours about having just finished the tutorial Mayo. https://765611980799995one/recommended/236850. Age of Empires 2, especially in its current state. They've done a remarkable job with the new updates. The graphics look great, the gameplay is as good as ever, and the entire game feels incredibly balanced. The fact that so many people still love and play this 20+ year old game is remarkable in itself. I've played countless hours of AoE 2, but I can't stop myself from playing the same strategy every time. Essentially I'm just super defensive. Harry their workers and distract their armies a bit, but mostly spend 90% of the time building defenses. Only after I'm surrounded by walls and towers with a strong garrison do I start the conveyor belt of sending army after the toughest enemy. Chrono Trigger. I still find myself listening to the soundtrack every now and then. 10 years after finishing it. Edit. It's very nice to see how beloved this soundtrack still is. This, FF6 and 7 and Golden Sun are all still wonderful to listen to. Last I checked, the Chord soundtrack had the most remixes of any game on the Ocramix org library. It's awesome. Silent Hill 2. Hyped for the remake? I have never been so hyped in my life. Dream come true. Morrowind. God, this is the only TES game that needs a remake. People who grew up too late for it get bored because of the punishing character creation and slow start to the story. But when you get past the guy who cloned himself as a woman however many times for unmentionable reasons, the story gets so immersive. Even for a casual player. Even though I doubt a remake could make it both accessible to more players while preserving the immersion the original game had. Also, Fortify Intelligence's opus, Skywind should fix this for a lot of people. Part of the reason I'm excited for it. Also the opening theme is an absolute banger. https://youtube b/v2 liars ixhg specially at 250 into the vid. Tingles. Diablo 2nd. Spent too much time in middle school and high school on that one. Still remembering finding my first Stone of Jordan. Half-Life 2. Of course. I think what people forget these days, or weren't around to witness, is just what a staggeringly large leap forwards HL2 was. A lot of what it did is standard these days, but at the time it was utterly breathtaking. Actually, physics interaction is still not common in many games. There's YouTube comparison between L4D2, 2009, and Back 4 Blood, 2021, https://www.youtube.com/watch v=ot4l_4dznlq. Fallout New Vegas. Iron begun. Nothing like some good Marty Robbins to start the day. Anyone remember Deus Ex? One of my favorite games ever, along with its spiritual predecessor, System Shock 2. With the exception of Invisible War, the whole Deus Ex series is top notch. I still hum the main theme tune to myself on a weekly basis. Dead Space. Man, I can't wait until Callisto Protocol. Need for Speed Underground 2. Open world and a great soundtrack makes for some real core memories here. Riders on the Storm with Snoop, right? Every time it comes on without Snoop on a Spotify playlist, my brain automatically starts going ride, 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 ride in Snoop's voice. Permanently embedded in there. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. Age of Empires 2. It has stood the test of time. This weekend the biggest tournament ever sponsored by Red Bull will start. Crazy to say that when talking about a 20-year-old game. Edit. Wow, I did not expect so much liked and reactions. Great to see so many people agree with me and are enjoying this game. To answer some of the most asked questions/comments, how do you watch the tournament? I think starting tomorrow you search a form the Red Bull Twitch channel. Probably you can find it just searching AoE 2 on Twitch. Can you still buy this game? Yes, it's on Steam. Be sure to get AoE 2D. That's the definitive edition. It still gets regular updates and has a very active player base. Also, there are tons of single player campaigns. You are just a shill for Red Bull. Nope, I don't drink Red Bull and find it disgusting. But it is still cool that they are sponsoring it. That's why I mentioned them. Insert game is also old but better. I really enjoy other older games as well. It doesn't have to be just one game. But for me AoE 2 is the one that I just keep going back to and keep playing. Have fun everyone. Be sure to give it a try and get some nice nostalgia feelings.